All right, we got some breaking news.
What
And I'm
now?
not joking with you. Shams Charania from ESPN.
Who's fired?
So much for Landry Fields being thrilled.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe that upset management. Because Landry Fields, according to Shams Charania from ESPN, has been fired by the Atlanta Hawks. Fired.
Well,
Breaking news.
let me check now if I have a Hawks email, because I said this earlier in the show. Where's the boss going to speak? Nothing yet.
I think the boss just spoke. I think he just said all there is to say. There's a fall guy, and that fall guy is Landry Fields.
Oh, I don't think he's a fall guy. I think he's sort of earned it, and I don't think that was the right thing to say. I don't think the way he put it was the right thing to say. You're trying to sell, I want to make sure I say this correctly. How about this? You're trying to sell food to a guy who's full. I'm full of the Atlanta Hawks. I'm full of what it is they do. Don't try to sell me another burger. I've eaten enough. I can't take no more. It's like that moment where you push away from the table. You go, no, I'm done.
So in case you missed it, this is the exit interviews that were done on Saturday after the Hawks were eliminated on Friday, and Landry Fields is pretty much saying, stay calm, all is well.
No, Quinn has done a terrific job. I couldn't be more thrilled. I'm happy with him, excited about what we've built in our building and the level of creativity that it's going to take to continue forward.
I knew what I heard. I got to hear from his boss, because this doesn't sound like it's lining up with what they've done as a team. And I'm not telling you I knew it was going to happen today. I am telling you that he does have a boss. And how he worded that and trying to sell that with lollipops, rainbows, and everything else was just dumb. Just dumb. How about you actually take control of a situation? The idea that we haven't been in the real playoffs, the idea that we don't play better defense, you're allowed to do that as a general manager. My problem is, if I'm his boss, your assessment of what this is completely wrong. Completely wrong. There's nothing to be thrilled about.
So do you think his job was safe until he said what he said?
I do think...
Because Tony Ressler can be quite reactionary.
I do think there are people who talk their way in and out of things. I would say he probably leaned to talking his way out of his job.
He said, what? The conversation behind the scenes maybe went something like that.
What do I do now if they come to me and say, do you want the job? They know how I feel about the GM job in the NBA.
Now, you'll take the job.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have said that. If nothing else, I will tell you this. I was more qualified to be the GM of the Hawks this weekend, because I would not have said any of that.
You'll take the job, but the issue is
I'm doing the show.
Right,
and
you're going to take the job with conditions. And I don't think you're in a position to take anything with conditions.
I got to tell you something. I could do this show doing that job. That job is easy. 2 rounds of drafts. No one cares about the second round.
So in case you're just tuning in.
No one cares about 6 guys on your bench. I could sign relatives and put them at the end of the bench. Nobody would know.
Shams Charania, you could pull a Bobby Cremins, who I think used to do that at Georgia Tech. Shams Charania from ESPN, NBA Insider, obviously reporting that Landry Fields has been fired as the GM of the Atlanta Hawks.
Breaking news.
So I kidded this morning. I kid about what was going to happen with the Hawks. There will be an email coming, because now they have to have a press conference. Now somebody above Landry Fields will have to have a press conference.
A private matter needs to stay private.
Well, this isn't private anymore, Trey. It is really public.
It does seem like
you're going to have a new boss.
It does seem like everything was going to stay together, and it seems like, based on what he said, that cost Landry Fields his job. Just from the outside looking in.
Atlanta Hawks initiate search for president of basketball operations. What? None of this makes any sense to me. Today, announced to begin a search for president of basketball operations.
So Landry Fields is out of a job.
They've got a press release, is what I'm telling you.
And sooner or later, as in much sooner, I would think, than later, a press conference will be coming, and we'll see who speaks. Is it just going to be Quinn Snyder? Will it be Tony Ressler? We shall find out, because Landry Fields, his tenure is no more as the GM of the Atlanta Hawks, according to Shams Charania.